I'm not sure if Gary always uses that statement, but I've heard it a lot. Like, don't look for the faster horse, try to figure out the car, like, do the innovation there. Do you feel at
Yeah.
the moment, like, that is a bit of my feeling right now? Like, I feel at the moment, many artists or many people are still trying to find a faster horse, but probably that there has to be some innovation happening. I made a tweet that said right now NFTs might be a bit overhyped. Over the next 10 years, they're totally underhyped.
Yeah.
Do you see this a bit similar, or and what do you see there? Where do you think the fact that the car might be in comparison to just a
Yeah.
faster horse?
Yep. So I agree with the point that NFTs are probably overhyped in this second, but underhyped in the long run.
Mm,
Um, I expect a lot of projects to suffer and for a lot of people to lose money. And that's just the reality of capitalism, and it's a free market.
yes.
The same way when the dot-com bubble happened and you had things like pets.com, but Amazon was birthed too, right? When Facebook and Twitter and Uber were born, there was a lot of failed startups and a lot of millions of dollars lost, right? And so there's going to be winners and losers. I think where I am so bullish on NFTs in general is that I think you and I, for the first half hour of this conversation, has focused primarily on the art and then a little bit on the collectibles component.
Mm,
But NFTs, it's a little bit of a misnomer in the way we've been using it and how most people are using it. Like, NFT technology, non-fungible token, really speaks to the back end and the smart contract on Ethereum, my platform of personal choice. There's other platforms. I think Ethereum eventually figures out its environmental issues with layer 2 and things like that. And I think Ethereum ultimately wins. And so where I get excited about NFTs is, how is NFT going to impact other industries? So for example, in sports, Mark Cuban, who owns the Dallas Mavericks, he came out and said, hey, I think we're going to NFT our tickets in the stadium, because right now, and this is in America, and I believe this is probably similar in Europe, the owner of the team sells a ticket to a consumer, and let's say that consumer buys it for $100. If that consumer then goes to the secondary market and sells it to somebody else for $200, right? The team owner makes nothing on that secondary transaction, right? Now you've got platforms like StubHub and SeatGeek in America that they take their fee from the commission, but the original owner doesn't. But now, if any team owner in any sport all over the globe says, you know what, we're going to put our season tickets and we're going to make them an NFT. And so if Julian buys a ticket to our football match, right, and he resells that ticket to AJ for that same football match, since it's an NFT and it's on the blockchain, and we're going to utilize a smart contract so that the original IP owner gets a royalty, Mark Cuban or any team owner can actually make money on the secondary market. That's disruptive. Let's say books. My brother writes a lot of books, for example. I believe that books will have a physical component moving forward and continue to, but then also the NFT component, right? And so you not only have the physical book, but you have an NFT related to the book. And, it can do a few things. I think the most important and logical point that I'm making here is, you sell the book, and as it gets resold, the original author can still make a royalty. The other thing too is, you have data on your customers through the NFT, right? So you can actually reach them with messaging and bonus chapters and promotion of your next book. Like, I just think the smart contract really becomes disruptive for music, publishing, concerts and sporting events, on and on and on and on.
How you guys at Vayner Sports, for example, planning on using NFTs? Are you? Do you see any? I mean,
Yeah.
it's funny that you mentioned Cuban. So I spoke with him, I think a week ago or something. I had him on the show as well and talked to him about NFTs, like, because he was so vocal about it. And I've been in touch with him since 2017. So, like, always writing back and forth. And I said, dude, like, we need to do something. And I mean, it was very interesting, and he shared exactly those things. And I asked him about the sports aspect. So what
Yeah.
are you guys doing?
Yeah. I mean, for our athletes right now, we're being incredibly patient. I think something that's really interesting is, I think everybody expects my brother to do an NFT, right?
Mm-hmm.
And,
Is
and,
he?
it's something that we're actively discussing, right?
Uh huh.
And so, but what I think is cool is, there's been a lot of NFTs come out from personal brands, over the last 2 weeks in particular, right?
Yeah.
And nothing against those NFTs, but I think the way Gary is looking at it, and I'm helping him think through his thinking, is, sure, it's nice to be first, and sure, it gets some PR headlines, but we'd rather do it right than do it first. And so we're just being patient. We're having a ton of conversations internally about like our athletes and how they should be doing an NFT. And there's already been a few athlete related NFTs. And listen, we could have had the first NFT for an athlete. That would have been no problem. But we wanted to do it right, and we wanted it to be consumer first. We didn't want to just put out an image of one of our athletes and sell it for $100 and say it's limited to 250 and just make some quick money. We want, I think something that you and I've touched on in this discussion is utility. And I would say I'm personally a big believer that a lot of the NFTs that are going to fail are going to fail because of the lack of utility.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the NFTs moving forward that are going to succeed is because of a consumer first utility that actually matters.
What are the thoughts? Like, I'm personally also interested. I'm personally interested in doing an NFT as well, but like completely giving the money away to charity, I think it would be such a cool thing. But like, I'm 100% struggling in this thing not being a cash grab or a money grab,
Yeah.
even if it goes to charity, right? Even if it is for a good purpose. But at the end, I really want like someone buying this NFT have like an amazing experience and be like, I don't know, super proud for the next decade. Like, I don't know what you want to share, but I would be really curious on
I'm probably not ready to share too much yet because it's still a work in progress. I'm still trying to figure it out. But like I said, I think that I think utility, and think through things that you can do with utility. With the smart contract, you can track loyalty, you can reach the consumer, you can upgrade the NFT, like I said, bonus chapters and things like that. And so we're thinking a lot about what are the benefits of smart contracts and to us, and then in turn, how can we take those benefits and give that back to the consumer? That's where a lot of our energy and our thinking is right now.
I mean, Cuban went this route in like allowing them to unlock like an email address where he recorded the video for the buyers. Was this something you guys discussed, or selling Gary's time or something, or this is not the route you?
That's
Okay.
all on the table. It's
Yeah.
all
Okay.
on the table.
These were all the things I also thought through. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all on the table. I think our number one thing is we're not going to do a cash grab. So
Yeah.
we are taking our time and we're figuring out, and we only will do it if it's right.
Really cool. Okay.